we want to look at what is it that you're just not seeing? What is it just kind of got you so clouded that no matter what you do, you just can't see it for the life of you? And it's really taking the piss out of you, right? You just don't know what to do or how to move forward. So we're going to answer that for you. And got the car. Okay, so here we go. We're going to do a mini cross. One of the readings I like to do. I use it because it kind of helps get a little bit of clarity, right? So the theme, what it is you're not seeing, is that you are not seeing the fact that there is nothing left for you with what you're dealing with emotionally. It's over. And this could be really anything, but as some type of a connection with, it could be maybe a hobby, job, it could be a person, it could be anything, but you have to now walk away. And you refuse to do that. And so because you refuse, it keeps just holding you back. It's just really tearing you apart on the inside. And what's stopping you is that you keep thinking about it over and over. You keep second guessing yourself. Am I supposed to do this? Am I supposed to stay? Am I supposed to leave? Am I supposed to try to fix it? You can't. So even though you're keeping yourself up at night and being completely distraught, you feel like the universe is just barreling down on you, it's over. You got to walk away. There's nothing left for you because you keep trying to stay when you have to go. And that's what's creating the turmoil. And what really brought you to this point was that it's a relationship. I'm sorry, but it was like a message of love. Like you trusted this person. So it was a person because the night shows up in what happened and why. And you thought they were really honest. You thought that they were the ones that were really there for you no matter what. And you accepted their cup. You accepted their cup and you believed their words to be true. And it leads you into this idea with the Four of Wands for everything to be perfect, almost like the point of marriage or almost like the point of like a super close knit relationship that you fell in love with the idea. And that's why the turmoil just keeps you up at night and it's just driving you absolutely crazy. And the thing that you do know is that you're tired of the fight. It's like it's a battle that never ends. That's why you have the Nine of Wands here, right? You're always standing there trying to hold everything together, but you're tired. You're sick and tired of the feeling of not being enough, right? You ever get like that where you just feel like no matter what you do is not enough? And that's what you know. That's what's on top of your head. That's the energy that just is always eating at you every single day. And that's why you're having a hard time sleeping at night. It's time for you to realize that no matter how hard you try, some things are just better left alone. And in the subconscious mind, and that's so sad. I'm sorry, but the Three of Swords, it's over because the mind is so broken from the heart, being so shattered that you don't want to believe that this thing that you were involved in is at the end of the line, but it is. So it's time to really move on. That's what you're not seeing is that it's not you. There's nothing you can do to save it because it's game over, right? It's just time to move on. I know it's hard to hear, but that's what the cards are actually showing. And I'm going to roll the dice. I want to get some numerology in here. I don't want to read the card. I want to read the dice numbers to see if it aligns with this. And we have a 7. So it's saying to you that you believe that the new opportunity you had was the message here. That's the Knight of Cups that brought you harmony, the 6, and balance and peace and love. That's the Four of Wands. That's that idea. But the thing was, you didn't 7 it. You didn't really step back and assess the situation properly. Even though subconsciously you did, outwardly you didn't. You felt like you could do more and you could fix it, but you can't. It is pretty much game over. And that's the problem. A lot of times you caught in relationships and you want them to work out, but they just don't because they weren't meant to be there in the first place. Because sometimes some people can be such a charmer where they'll tell you anything to get you where they need you to be. Okay. So that's the reading I have for you. And should we pull some Lenormand cards? Let me think about that for a second. Yes, I think we are. And what do they have to say? Let's go to Lenormand to see if we can deepen the meaning here of like what is you're not, we already know what you're not seeing, but let's just see what kind of vibe it gives us based off this message. I don't need to repeat the question because we already know what it is, right? Shuffle it one more time. So I always pull the middle first. Yeah. You thought it would last a long time. And that goes in line with what the image you had in your head, because that was a 4 of 1, which is the fire, the desire you wanted it so bad. And so Lily's comes up because it's something that you really thought you could have took root in and grew. You could have grown with this person. Okay. But it was always these obstacles. That's why the mountain's in the first position. So even though the king, he sits on top of the Knight of Cups, the mountain's here because it was always was this heavy challenges that always got in your way. And when you overcome them, you thought like, hey, now that we overcome these challenges again, it would work. And you thought that that would then bring you happiness. That's why the heart's on top of the 4 of Wands. You thought that it would just be a blessed union, right? And again, it was probably somebody you met and dated for a while, but just isn't working out because they're not who you thought they were. And we're going to look at the numbers here too. So when you look at the numbers here in Lenormand, the mountain was a 3, 2 decisions, 1 potential, but the 3 communication was always off, which was always causing a fight. And the lilies, they would then sweet talk you. 30's a 3 again, and you thought things would work out perfectly. And that's why you couldn't see it, because they got the best of your instincts. And then here you have the heart with 24, which is a 6. And that's why you always thought things would work, because even though they had the challenges, they sweet talked you, then you thought everything was good again. And when you look at these together, that would be a 3 and 3 is a 6, and a 6 is a 12, right? What do you have? A 3 again. So the whole thing was around the way they spoke to you. You believed it, but then they would play games and manipulate. And that's the reason why you didn't see it. They pulled your heartstrings, heart and the Lenormand card here, 3 of Hearts here, to manipulate you, which made you, the Knight of Wands, feeling heavy and always having to defend and fight for what you wanted. And you realize it just isn't going to work out. That it's time to call it quits. Anyway, that's the reading I have for you. And if you enjoyed this, let me know. Head over to wordtothetwist.com and sign up for my newsletter or become a member, because the cool thing about being a member is I do a lot of custom spreads now, and also little workbooks and worksheets that are given to my members, whether they're free or paid. Some is paid only, but some's also for free and paid members because it's not available to the public. Anyway, until next time, I want to see you all in my next reading. All right, bye now.